New project site. Building a shed, so I'm going to put a slab over here over the old septic, which is no longer in use. It's been out of action for decommission for years and years and years. And so we bought a shed, and I want to build a slab here for it. So we don't have much level land, and the level land we do want we want to try and level out as a yard once I get rid of all of this crap. So forming up for a shed here next to the old one, and that's going to be a long job. So in building this slab up, for driveways you need at least a 4-inch slab, 100mm. For footpaths this only needs to be a 2-inch or 50mm. Now this is a really tall area because of the septic tank. Now the septic tank's got like a 3-inch thick top on it. And it actually slopes down, so if I take it from the highest point, I've got a level mark across to the top of my shed, or the side of my shed, and that's currently, that's like 2.5 inches. And I want it to be a decent amount of concrete over the top so it doesn't split and I've got room for the Rio. So if I take a level here, I know it's going to be at least, that's going to make it at least 4.5, maybe even 5 inches above the slab, the tank on that side. But in all it's going to be like, so 12, about 16 inches thick at the shallow end. Bottom end's going to be a lot deeper. I just need to take a mark off here and then transfer my levels around the edge so I can get the formwork all at the right height. Yeah, I don't want to make it too thin above this because that might cause it to crack, even though I'll have the reinforcement through it. And it's only going to have a garden shed on it, so it's not like it needs to be super thick. But I don't want to under-engineer it either. So, at least if I take a mark there, which is level with this point, which is the highest point on here, I can transfer that around. So in doing that, that means that the slab for this shed is going to be a few inches above the top of this one. So I'm actually going to have a form here which will leave a little bit of a trench at the side, so I can actually run a bit of a drain in between the two sheds so the water doesn't flow back into that one. Right. That's the job, that's the idea anyway. So I've got most of my form up now, and I've filled and packed down the fill and everything like that. So, and I've just checked my level. So for the majority, the inside space of the slab area is between 90 and 120, 130 mil below the top of my formwork, and I want a 4-inch or 100 mil slab. So I've done that. I've now got to get all my Rio sorted out, and when you're setting up your Rio for your concreting for your slab, it needs to be held up off the ground and generally through the middle of your slab. Now I'm doing a 100 mil slab, so I've got 2 sets of chairs for holding the Rio up off the ground because you don't want the steel touching the ground. These ones are going to be too tall. I was given those by a workmate or workmate's husband, and because my slab is going to be 100 mil, these things stand about 70 mil high, and you've got 2 options for where you want to sit your Rio. You've got a lower section for sitting your Rio in the saddle, or you've got a higher section. You generally put the crossovers here, or straight through a centre section. As you look at the Rio, you sit that in there. This is sitting on the ground, supporting the Rio, and that'll hold the Rio at around 50 mil or 2 inches above the base, which is in the centre of the slab. So I've got my plastic down, waiting for my delivery of my sand and gravel for my concrete. I said they should be here a bit after lunch. It's just gone midday. I'm going to get the rest ready out back. So I finished putting in all the Rio last night, so it's ready to be poured. Now I started working out my volume, and the volume for that slab is around about 2 cubic metres. And initially I thought I was going to use these pre-mix bags because they're so easy to use. You just add water. But in order to do 2 cubic metres, or a bit over, I was going to need 220 of these bags, coming in at around $1,600 worth of concrete. So I went back to the idea of doing cement and sand aggregate. So I've just had that delivered, and in total this will come to maybe around $700 worth of concrete. I would do a bit more mixing, and I've got my buckets. Because my sand and aggregate is already mixed, I'm doing like a 1 part to 4 parts. So 1 part cement to 4 parts sand aggregate. So this is where I'm starting. Now when you're working with concrete or cement, you need to make sure you're wearing a dust mask. The cement dust can be really bad for your lungs. Also goggles, because you don't want to get in your eyes. It's really caustic. I hope this is coming through alright with my mask on. We'll see. But yeah, the last thing you want to do is get the dust in your lungs and in your eyes. Bad news. 2 days before I've got to go back to work, and I've got about a 3 foot by 9 foot section of the slab left to do, and I want to get it done before I do go back. But the weather has decided to go quite crap on me. It's only a light drizzle, but it's constant. When I just checked the weather, it says it's going to be like this all day and tomorrow, so I'm still going to have to get it done. I've got some tarps to cover it up while it cures. Just means that I'm going to be working out in this drizzle, which is, it's not heavy, but it's annoying just because it's constant. Anyway. Finally got the slab finished. The top of the slab got done in 3 sections, so this first section and then pack up a night. Not terribly happy with the surface finish of the second section. It started drying sooner than I could get it leveled and stuff, so that's a little bit sort of uneven in the middle in terms of what it looks like on the top. It's level-ish. And then today's section, which, as I said before, I was trying to get done before it, hopefully with the light rain, and then when I got about a third of the way up, it started raining heavy and I started getting all these drop marks and everything down the bottom end, which also meant that I got a lot more surface water, so that end of the slab is probably going to craze a little, just like this bit did. I had some surface water from the uneven finishing off of this second section, but it's done. I'll leave this plastic over it, so if we do get any more rain, it's going to get a chance to actually cure properly, and I'll leave it in the formwork for at least a week before taking it out, which will mean like next weekend I'll take the formwork down and I can start working on installing the shed that we bought to go here.